Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and you're looking at an M12. It's the Tier 7 American SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Malinovka, and it's under the command of the Bassman from Hell. And this is another runner-up in the Arty Day Competition. The Bassman's a man after my own heart. He's actually put placeholders in each of the tiers to see if he could actually get a tier by winning straight off and then gone on to do some better games afterwards. And that means that just in case somebody doesn't actually put a game in there, he would win. But this game was one of the runner-ups, so we'll see how he got on in it. Well, he's got a 155mm howitzer of French design, as you can see from the breech, and he can do 700 alpha with one shot, and his reload time is 24.87 seconds, slightly longer than the M44, which is also 155mm, but it does do more damage. And look at that gaggle of enemy tanks all going up the hill. He's dialing in, but he's deciding not to shoot. And you only get a limited number of rounds in the M44. Unfortunately, it's only 20 rounds, so ammo conservation is actually quite a good idea. Now, there was a Panther he could see there, but unfortunately he's lost sight of that. And the enemy tanks are now appear to be going up the hill. The only enemy tank in sight is that Progetto over to the southwest of the map. And it's a difficult shot because it's actually trying to loop the shell over that rock, and unfortunately the trajectory of the M12 means that you can't really easily do that. Okay, our guys are going up on top of the hill now, and EBR's been spotted on that little lookout spot and been nuked. He was taken out by an MX-30. Now, we have lost some hit points on our team, and that might be because the enemy does have a scout somewhere on the field. Always worth a shot into that bush on the field, but Bassman's going to focus his attention up on top of the hill near the windmill. By the way, if you've seen that video by the Mighty Jingles, where there was a missing Leopard prototype that was sitting hidden, we know where he was. He's in there. That bush there, that's the spot where he was hiding all the time. Nobody entered that grid square to actually proximity detect him. And so that's where he managed to hide for the entire game. And I suspect that the reason that there was no sixth sense detection of him was because the tanks that went up in there to look for him after the game didn't have sixth sense, and therefore they couldn't tell that they'd been spotted. Okay, object 257. We've already got 12 hit points of damage, but we picked up some stun assist off him. And we're about to put a round onto his ass. Nicely dialed in. Oh, RNG said no, and the shell landed long, but it still stunned him. The 257 at the moment is rather ineffective sitting up against that windmill like that. All that's going to happen is he's going to get hit by Arty repeatedly. And Bassman's perfectly dialed in to put a round right into his side now. Rounds out straight away. Direct hit this time, 247. He can just keep pumping the shells in until that 257 is dead. He's got to realise that he is very, very vulnerable in that spot. In fact, the ideal position would be to be slightly further north, slightly moved up and engage the Wizzy 1114. And another hit, 248 this time. These guys are just holding back, and they're being a bit of a pussy because that poor 257, he is going to get absolutely hammered. At least if they were up there sharing the risk with him, they could force that Wizzy 1114 to back away, and the King Tiger captured as well. But all that's going to happen is they're going to move into a position where they can get shots on the enemy. And that's another 270 hit points. You see, he's about to get wiped out. The King Tiger captured, comes around the corner to deter the Leopard prototype from moving up. There we go. Rounds out. Is this going to be a kill shot? No, not quite. 124. Probably going to take at least another hit before we can take him out the game. But I think the next hit will be terminal for that 257. We're doing well because we're 2 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. And Bassman is collecting loads of XP on a higher tier tank. And he's got the kill. It was a tier 9 tank and he's taken all the hit points away, well most of them. And that Leopard's gone. Okay, we've got a 110 here, Chinese heavy tank, tier 8. He's higher tier than us, so we're going to earn more XP. It's lined up. Unfortunately, all our teammates are rushing the target. And even if Bassman was to mark the target, and he did fire, too late, and he stunned his own teammates there. I think it's one of those instances which we ought to show to wargaming. You see, even if we mark a target, our teammates are going to get the bloodlust, the red mist up, and all that they're going to do is rush a target we've indicated, go straight into the aim circle, and hit the enemy tank there. So we end up stunning our own team, and that's exactly what happened in this game. But that T-69's managed to make it north, and so's that Progetto. We've only got a SU-100 M1 and a TS5 guarding this side of the map, as well as Bassman. And he's going for the Progetto. It's the light tank. It's much easier to penetrate with a round. Fires a round in, and oh, goes long. Big water spout as it goes up. It's a difficult shot because he's shooting over a ridgeline. So a minute adjustment from the shell and it could go long and hit the water, or fall short and hit the ridgeline. Now in the south, our team from the hill have finally reached the enemy cap, and so we're now aiming for a T-69. It's on our side of the gap, and that's a direct hit for 287. So Bassman is now going to maximize the damage because it looks like our team are going to take control of the enemy cap area. There is an enemy T-28 down at the other end of the map, and of course that's a dangerous tank destroyer with a 120mm gun. And Bassman's now having a look at that rock because I think he's going to be hiding just around the corner. Oh, no he's not. He's actually out in the open. So Bassman's going to take all the hit points he can out of this one. Gets a direct hit. 339. Good strike on him. He's got his juicy rear with his fuel tanks exposed, and he's gone. So the last enemy remaining is this Progetto, the difficult one to hit. Shooting over this ridgeline. He's not going to live very much longer though. We are capping, which we shouldn't be now because this is going to be an easy kill. Now, what's he going to do? He's going to try and use these wrecks for cover. Nope. Nope. Game over. TS5 said nope. And all happened before the cap ended. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's a second class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the M12. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7 in that game. And 4 of those were from the Object 257. Surprise, surprise. Oh dear. And look at the number of stuns that poor guy had. 6 stuns, 6 shots at him. He just sat there taking the shells as his teammates weren't really being very effective up on that hill. Bassman managed to get a win 8 for that game, 2-3-5-8-2, which is very good indeed. So let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage. That went to the Wizzy 111-14. He got 4-4-8-2. So he was the principal damage dealer out on top of the hill. Picked up the high caliber. The next high score was the AMX-30. He got 3-1-8-9. And that's a bit surprising for a medium tank, a French medium tank with no armor. And the Striv 1030 got 2-3-7-7. So an IKEA flat pack that actually does some damage. And then comes Bassman with his M12. 1-7-2-3 for him on that game. When it came to the number of kills, yep, it's the Wizzy 111-14 who got 5. TS5 and T-34-2 got 2 kills apiece. Bassman got 1 kill, I'm afraid. But because he was a low tier Arty in a high tier game, he was actually earning the XP. Yes, The Wizzy 111 Model 14 got 1,167 because he dealt so much damage on the enemy, but it was Bassman who got the second highest base XP, 898 for him, because he was hitting higher tier opponents every time, and that earns him more XP. He fired 11 shots, got 6 direct hits, no penetrations but 10 splash. Damage of 1,723 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He hit 3 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and did stun assist of 1,390 hit points off 8 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 9,002 credits from that game. He did use premium consumables. It cost him 20,000, so that's why his figure was so much lower. But he did earn 2,694 XP from that game, which is good. And his base XP was 898, but sadly that wasn't enough to win the Tier 7 prize. It was an M12 that won the Tier 7 prize, I can tell him. I'm sure he knows by now, and it was a very good game for that player. So, yep, sadly this is one of the runner-up contenders, and so you will get to vote, the What Arty Noobs members get to vote on the best replay out of all the runner-ups. And so, thanks for watching.